What's good, everybody? I'm going to be showing you my number 2 run today. Unfortunately, it starts at the end of stage 1. However, you can still see exactly what I went and what items I had and stuff like that, as this is still stage 1. It's closing. I stayed in every single rift as long as you possibly can. And yeah, I'm going to try to give you a educational guide and look on how I did everything, what I was thinking, what I went. Now, the main things for stage 1 that I would say is you want to hit the boss instantly, or at the time, because I think they've done some updates since then. This was a week ago, but you would hit the boss and then you would go around and get every single chest and do all your stuff. You can't do challenges. I personally let the first shrine spawn, Shrine of Power, to allow me to get the Chasing Lightning ability. And then I didn't take the other ability until way later. Like, I think it was like pretty much the last thing I did in stage 1, because I wanted to get mostly critical damage or lightning damage. Now, when it comes to scaling in the meta in my opinion is just scaling one thing absurdly and just going from there. So with that in mind, I chose to scale Chasing Lightning. Now, when it comes to this game, there's, as you can see, these little kind of yellow orbs. That is how many you can get of a certain enchantment, let's say. So, for example, Chasing Lightning, you can only get 5 of each duration, 5 of area, etc., no matter if it's common or legendary. So with that in mind, you can see that I only have yellow and purple upgrades for the Chasing Lightning stuff, as that's our main damager, because it'll hit the whole screen in the late game, which is very important. So I am gonna, even though it's my main thing, I am strong enough, hopefully, to skip going anything under purple or legendary. Now here, when you start stage 2, you can hit the boss. However, you can't stall it nearly as long because you do so much damage at this point if you had a good enough stage 1. So yeah, the reason that we have the chain is I was using a talisman that heals me based on if I kill a bleeding enemy with a death curse. And the way we get death cursed is there is a necrotic, I think it's called Necrotic Surge, and if you upgrade that, it has a 15% chance to apply Death Curse to the person it hits, which if you have enough attack speed or cast speed, then you should be able to get it on everybody or enough people to be constantly healing. Now, there is going to be some FPS lag from time to time. I didn't notice it very much in the game. I guess it's a recording thing. I'll have to look into it for future episodes. However, honestly, you know, you could probably just listen to what I'm saying or just look at the written guide, which will be in the description. Now, I am sorry for that. I'm not sure why that necessarily happened, because the frame rate was not doing this in the actual game, but I guess that's what it was prioritizing over the recording, which is unfortunate. Now, the kind of optimal strategy when it comes to a game like this, especially leaderboard types of runs, is you want to just kill everything instantly. And you might be like, yo, that's pretty obvious, right? But at the same time, like, you'd think that for some games you want to just be like kind of immortal and last till the, you know, the storm closes or gas or whatever you want to call it. And then when that happens, that's when you kind of get your extra points to make up for the, you know, not having a ton of damage early. However, in this game, when the zone closes in on you, you stop gaining score altogether. Now, it's still possible to like farm currency, gold, or items, but you cannot get any score, which means that you'll always, at least for as long as this stays, you will always benefit more from going full damage and having screen wide clear over anything else. Now, as you can see, my morphs, I only went for the bleed, the guaranteed bleed. I'm showing off my stats a little bit. I think I was in call with William. His channel will probably be linked down below, and if it's not, then it's in the written guide as well, as his part of the strategy I gave him credit for. But the you don't want to actually use one of your shade things on your chasing lightning, as my understanding is chasing lightning damage or evolve only affects if you have burning, and I didn't have any source of burning, I don't think. And at least I wasn't scaling it because I purposely wasn't going anything that gave fire damage. And you need, if you're going to do this talisman strat that I did that gave me a ton of healing, then you do need to have both necrotic surge and the bleed guaranteed on the chains. Now, once again, I am going to apologize for the lag. I'm not sure if it's necessarily fully on my computer. I don't ever lag like this, and I've never had a recording lag like this. Maybe there's something in the game when there's too much on the screen or something, I don't know, but that's something that we'll figure out. And keep in mind, everything you're seeing, this is a play test. It's not even a demo, and is that considered early access? I don't know the terminology for it, but I know that it's not even a demo yet. So the fact that it's even this polished is very encouraging. And if the videos do well or the written guide helps people, then maybe we will return to get another leaderboard run. There's not too much else going on in this stage because we're really just opening every chest and stuff like that. However, I will say that one thing that you want to focus on is paying attention to when you get a level up or something, or when you're taking a perk, you want to look at the top left. Now, what's on the top left, you may ask? If you're going to be able to get damage, like crit damage or something, look right now, focus traits, it says all that. You could pause the video to go back to what I'm saying, but if it shows you a chance to get damage, it'll show you on the left how much you're actually going to get when you hover over it. Now, this is really important because it doesn't actually give you what it's saying it's giving you, because there is diminishing returns. Now, unfortunately, at the time of recording this, there wasn't a way to see the diminishing returns on, like, let's say a relic. So, like, let's say the 10% damage, like flat all damage that you get, if you get like 10 of those, you're literally getting like less than 1% every single time, which I wish it said, because then you just wouldn't want to take it. So when it looks like I may have too many items, I'm also trying to account for diminishing returns and get as many things that give me all percent instead of just trying to funnel into one thing, because that is not good. Now, I did take a common area size chasing lightning there, which is not ideal. However, at this point, my chasing lightning was so good size wise that I was feeling okay. Now I'm gonna go to the music for a little bit, and then if anything happens that is worth mentioning, I will definitely let you know. Once again, if you want to check the written guide down below, it'll be lag free, as it is just a written readable guide, and it has everything that I said in this video and more. If you want a more structured format, that's there as well in that guide. So there you go. And if you are enjoying my content as a whole, if you're here for the first time, welcome in. We have tons of plans for this channel. We're gonna be doing variety, trying out new games. This lag will not be happening in the future. The goal will be to try to find hidden gems, or just kind of establish different games in a library, or aka playlist. That way, if anyone wants to find a educational guide or just find new games to play, you'll be able to go to this channel, go to the playlist, and see ratings, aka grind reports of each game, where I rate every aspect of the game and then give an overall rating. That way people could find out what their next grind will be. And I try to keep everything as educational as possible, try to explain everything that's going through my head. That way, if you do start on a game that's fresh to you, you at least have a good starting point, rather than having to put in the hours to learn the stuff that you might not want to waste time learning. This game does not, like I said, because it's so early in, it does not have that much information on it. The best way is probably either through my written guide or through the Hellforged Discord. So if you want the Hellforged Discord link, ask me and I'll see if I can get a permanent link that I can put in the video. At this point, you can see on the top left, when the green is completely covering your screen, you're actually not taking... I mean, you are taking necrotic damage, which I think magic resist can help with. However, there's no point to really be this tanky, because other than if you get one shot, you should be able to heal through most things. But the main point is that you're not getting any score, so this is really only to get a little bit extra gold, XP, or maybe items for future runs. However, this is not necessary, and I wouldn't risk it this much on a really good run in the future if I was worried about dying and having to reset or something like that. Because the benefit that I got definitely didn't outweigh the risk. I don't even think I got a level from that whole fiasco. as you can see, I mean, kind of the ideal towards the end is just go somewhere and stand still. You'll get tons of kind of everything, XP, gold, whatever, but that's also going to activate your specialization passive. If you don't know about this game, there's a talent tree, there's abilities, there's relics that you can go into each run, but you can customize beforehand, which kind of puts it apart. And then there's also obviously items that you're seeing. So I have my whole build, everything in this video, but I also have everything in the written guide. It shows the best of every strat, different specializations. If this isn't necessarily your cup of tea, if you want to try other elements, there's also that. But for this one in particular, you just want to be strong and stand still and have enough healing to never have to move, because as soon as you move, you lose your vacuum passive, and it is quite a bit of damage overall because it kills the smaller stuff pretty easily, and then you have all your other stuff to kill these specters. One thing that I will say is hopefully in the future there's more focus traits, because right now there's only 4 that I would ever take ever. Crit chance, crit damage, and damage. And the only time I would take health is if I was doing like a tanky run that I was trying to survive in the green thing, which once again, that is only for farming, let's say scrap or gold. But I mean, gold does nothing, so scrap or items, because those runs you don't have enough damage to get to compete with these runs, but you can last in the, you know, fatigue zone or whatever much longer. However, this one does edge out both in score, and it will if you're doing, you know, kind of active play over the course of time. Now, if you do this strategy, it won't result in the same score, mostly because I'm pretty sure rifts were nerfed pretty much the next day after this was recorded. However, the principles of kind of focusing on one trait and only going the damage stuff, but also going the purple or better on your main trait and stuff like that will always apply. Now, you know, the meta might shift, so I'm not necessarily gonna recommend going one or the other. That's why in my written guide I put, you know, many different synergizing builds. That way you can kind of get a read on the game and go with whatever you're enjoying the most. So yeah, that's basically everything that I wanted to share in the voiceover. I hope you enjoyed. If you are enjoying and you like the channel so far, the grind never stops. We are the Grind Reporter. So if you want to stay tuned for future episodes, different games, stuff like that, then please like the video, comment, subscribe. Let me know what video, what games, what guide you want next, and I am definitely open to it. I'm recording a lot of different stuff. However, one of the staples on my channel so far has been Oaken Tower. I will be most likely posting a Oaken Tower video later today. So if you're watching this and this is not really your thing, don't worry, I still have content for you, and there will be no shortage of content on this channel. If you like League of Legends Arenas content, you might know me from there, as I go by Game Bolt Plays. I have tons of world record stuff, Infinity, breaking the game in a game that is one of the biggest games in the world, the biggest MOBA. Well, actually that might be debatable. So anyways, like the video. Thanks for watching. I'll let you enjoy the rest, and once again, check the description for William's channel. If this video does well, maybe he'll start posting some Hellforged content. If you want the Hellforged Discord, let me know, and the written guide will be at the top. Thanks again. Voiceover Grind Reporter signing off.